Discover the best in local business news with a subscription to the IBJ and Inside Indiana Business. For a limited time, try us out for just $1 a week for 8 weeks. Claim this limited time offer now at ibj.com/trial offer.
Hey everybody, it's Pete the Planner, and welcome to a very special episode of the show. Not very special like in the 80s sitcoms when we learned not to talk to strangers in a really uncomfortable, awkward way, but very special in the sense that we've hit this magical moment in the year in which time no longer behaves normally. That's the sort of very special I'm talking about. Anywho, we are officially in the last few weeks of 2025. It's the time of year when you don't know what day it is, you don't know what you're supposed to be working on, and your goals are staring at you like, so, you still planning on us or no? And of course, holiday spending, yes, the annual ritual in which we collectively declare financial amnesty and justify every purchase because, well, it's for the kids or the dog or Uncle Gary, who I haven't seen since 2014. Who do you vote for? Anyway, look, I love this time of year, but it's chaos. It's financial chaos. It's emotional chaos, calendar chaos. In the economy right now, even the economy is confused. It's walking around like it forgot where it parked, like I did at the airport 2 weeks ago. So today, I just want to talk through how to get your brain and your money through the final stretch of the year with a little sanity, a little bit of strategy, and as always, a little self-deprecating honesty. Okay, let's start with the economy. You know, the thing that's supposed to make sense when smart people explain it and yet somehow still feels like reading IKEA instructions written in Sanskrit. We've got mixed signals everywhere. Inflation cooled, but prices are still high enough to make you question whether eggs are now a luxury item. The job market is strong, but layoffs keep popping up like a whack-a-mole. And the interest rates? Yeah, they're still giving off stern librarian energy. Yeah, you may borrow money, but at a cost. So what do you do with all this? Well, honestly, not much. You keep your head, you keep your plan, you stop doom scrolling financial TikTok at 2 a.m. and you accept that the economy is gonna economy. That's what she does. This is the time of year when people start asking, hey, Pete, should I change my investing strategy for next year? And I always say the same thing. I don't even change the batteries in my smoke detector and still it starts to chirp at me. You think I'm changing my portfolio in December? Stay the course. You don't fix your roof in a windstorm. Now let's talk about your goals. I know. This is the season when everyone realizes they set goals back in January that were bold and ambitious and arguably delusional. If your January goals were a little, who does this guy think he is? You're not alone. Mine were too. This is the season of forgiveness, right? Self-compassion and yes, realistic recalibration. I've set that same expectation with my wife recently. It's like, I know you didn't expect it to go this way, honey, but maybe it's time for some realistic recalibration. She didn't buy it either. So think of it this way. This is not the time to cram. This is not financial finals week. A lot of people kind of mess up the end of the year because they try to get it all in. You're not going to lose 40 pounds now, save 10 grand all of a sudden and eliminate all your debt and organize your garage by New Year's Eve. The end of the year is not for finishing everything. It's for framing next year. That's why I'm here with you today. So pick one thing, literally one, to feel good about by December 31st. Maybe it's making a budget or setting up auto savings. I like that. Maybe it's not buying 19 scented candles on Black Friday. Small wins. That's what we're looking for. Just light the flame, just not on the candles. All right, let's talk holiday spending while we're at it. So I'm just going to say this. We all overspend during the holidays because we want to be the hero of our own gift-giving story. And then January shows up like the hangover friend who says, hey, man, so about all those gifts. So here's the rule for the next few weeks. If you can't pay for it in January without shedding a tear, don't buy it in December. I know that sounds harsh, but we're trying to avoid January regret face. You know, the look, the one where you're scrolling through your transactions like you're reading your own criminal record. Make a list, set a number, stick to the number. Don't be the person who buys their way into holiday spirit, then spends the next 3 months eating rice and regret. And by the way, your kids don't need 10 gifts. They need 2 and a parent who isn't stressed out of their skull. Go ahead and write that on a decorative sign and sell it at Hobby Lobby. So where does all of this leave us? Well, in the final weeks of the year, you don't need to be perfect. You don't need to be a financial genius. You don't need to reinvent your entire life. You just need to do 3 very simple things. Number 1, stay calm. Even when headlines try to convince you the sky is falling, which we've learned to do quite well this year. Number 2, stay intentional. Even when the holiday sales try to hypnotize you, be intentional. Number 3, stay grounded. Like me as a teenager, as a kid, I was always found a way to stay grounded. Just ask my parents. But look, even when your goals feel like they're mocking you from across the room, you need to keep your head. This is a weird time of year. It's a transitional time, but it's also the perfect time to pause and reset and remind yourself you don't need a new year to start fresh. You just need a decision and maybe a nap. All right, folks, that's it for this very special episode. I'm Pete the Planner, and I'll talk to you next time after I finish figuring out how many receipts I've stuffed into my coat pockets this year. See you later.
I'm Tiffany Souter, mom of 4, wife, entrepreneur, and host of the Life of And podcast. For years, I built my life with brute force, a successful business, a growing family, and absolutely zero margin. I was tired, snappy, and felt constantly behind, and I was too afraid to admit it. Everything changed when I stopped trying to do more and started building systems that actually worked for my real life. If you too are craving more peace, more presence, and just more time for you, I'd love for you to join me on the Life of And. Subscribe now on your favorite podcast app or listen at ibjpodcast.com.
Thanks for listening to this IBJ Media podcast. You're probably going to remember this ad. Do you know why? Podcast advertising works. 85% of listeners recalled hearing an ad during a podcast, and 70% of podcast listeners have acted after hearing an ad. So whether you're looking to be heard across the entire IBJ Media Podcast Network, sponsor one of our shows, or just start with a 30-second ad, IBJ Media can help. Contact advertise@ibj.com to learn more.